Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Friday Edge, where we have real talk, we expect real results, and we believe anything is possible. This morning, as I was thinking about what to share with you, I was reminded of a quote that I read from Viktor Frankl. Viktor is a Holocaust survivor, and this is what he says: "When we are no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." In other words, we are the key to changing. And we may find ourselves in a difficult situation or a challenging situation where we just want to run. We want someone to come in and rescue and save the day. And when I read that quote, it reminded me of a very difficult year my husband and I had. 1999 was a year where it felt like a lot of things kind of fell apart in our life. We had to move from the house that we had been living in. We had very challenging and difficult financial things that came up, and we were having our third baby. So in the middle of all those things, it felt like my world was crashing down. You know, getting calls from collectors, getting calls and people asking you questions about how are you going to pay this bill is not a fun thing to go through. And we all have our own story, but this is my story, and I'm sharing it to encourage you that sometimes when we are in the middle of those very dire, difficult situations, we just want people to come and save the day. And the reality is that our ultimate success depends on the choices we make. Not on what other people do for us, but it really, our responsibility on our life comes down to us and our choices. And I'll never forget the day that I walked outside our house when everything was coming crashing down, the summer of 1999. And I remember looking up to the heavens, and I threw my hands up and I said, "God, I thought you said you were going to bless us and prosper us and take care of us. I thought you said that you believed in us and give us the power to get wealth. I thought you said all these things. And why are people not helping us? Why is nobody coming to our aid and pulling us up out of where we were in?" And I heard him say, "Geneva, this is because of choices that you have made. This is because of how you think." And that began the journey for my husband and I of changing how we think and of really owning our life and of deciding that how we had been living did in fact give us the results that we had. And they were challenging, difficult results. But you know what? I remember in those early years putting note cards around my house and saying things like, you know, with God, all things are possible, and the power of renewing our mind every single day and filling our mind with good things. And it began the process of pulling out the old and planting the new, and planting what is true, right, and good. And it was a process of the Lord helping us to see the ways of thinking that we had that were just plain wrong. They were truth to us, but they weren't producing fruit, so we knew they weren't right. And as we've come, 1999, that's, 18 years ago this fall. And a lot has changed in 18 years. But my encouragement to you today is what Viktor said, that it's not about our circumstances. It's not about the place that our situations that are so challenging. It's about us and how we are going, what choices we make. We choose. The thing I love so much about God is He is about freedom. He is about choice, and He will never force us to do anything. But He gives us free will and free choice. And today I want to encourage you, make the right choices. Choose the right ways of thinking. If you're not getting the results in your life that you want, begin to examine what choices you're making and how you're thinking when those things come up. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And as I think back to that day in 1999, I am forever grateful that God didn't just put people in our path to give us things, to pull us out of where we were, but that He in fact loved us so much that He put us on a journey to help us to see what truth really was in our life in that moment. And so today, embrace the places that you are and fill your mind with the right things, the good things, things that give life. And don't become a victim to your circumstances, but instead take the steps to change your choices. And change, it's what I've said before many times here on the Friday Edge, change is so uncomfortable, but it is when we grow the most. And God meets us in the uncomfortable, and He makes a way where there seems to be no way. So be encouraged today. We're all in this human race together. So, we all have our own stories. We all have our own circumstances, but we still are all created in the image of God. And He has put it within us to make the right choices, and He will help us. And so just ask. So again, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm so thankful that you joined me today on the Friday Edge. And from here in North Carolina, I'm thankful that it is finally fall. It feels nice and cool out this morning, and bless somebody today. Look for an opportunity to give something away today. And as you're giving away, make sure that you're filling yourself up with the right stuff. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week on the Friday Edge.